Okay, hey guys, so here's my titanoboa. So this is what it looks like. So sorry for the terrible one, it's at night right now. So yeah, but this is my titanoboa now. Before, and I have these joints. I did have a joint here, but I didn't think to put hot glue there, so it broke, and then I just had it, and then it was fine. Didn't really move that much, and then it broke again, so I couldn't add it again. And it's only these joints here, like this one and this one, but this is articulation on the jaw. It is the smoothest articulation I've ever had over there. I also have nice teeth, with after teeth, which generally look like teeth for them, with articulation here. And here it can move quite a bit, like this, and here it can move this way, but it's a bit hard, so it moves less than this direction, so that I can. Now I'm making an extra skeleton like Eon beats. So if you want this is skeleton, far. Yeah, there's a scale for you. Yeah, I'll see you when it gets more completed, like maybe tomorrow or something. Bye. Okay, so it's the next morning, but here is it. I just completed the main sculpt. So this is what it's like. Jaw articulation. With the ears for the joints here. And this is how the tail goes, and it's all bend in that, so. And this is his next to human when it's coiled up. So yeah. I'll see you when this thing is painted up. And here is our final result on our titanoboa. And to be honest, I think it came out quite better than I expected, to be honest. Like, this is the paint scheme here. I'll pop up like 3 images of it, but it's like based on one popular image of a animatronic statue in like a museum or whatever in Australia, which is awkward that it's in Australia because that's not where they have those. But I based it on that color scheme, identically, not exactly the same, but I made it unique here with the color scheme a bit. And this thing here is also, okay, so it can barely fit in frame at all, but this is a human here. So yeah, if you've seen the Dude's video on his titanoboa, if you know the size of the titanoboa, then you'll know that that thing is oversized of his. I still love that thing tech, but it's oversized. Like, this is the length of it here. That is the length of it. That's how long this thing is. So yeah. So that's just length. So the next part will be articulation. So the articulation point is at the head here, with a very nice articulation on the jaw, which, to be honest, is literally the level that Eon Dude has. He every now nails it, and I have struggled. And previously, my best figure that had the best articulation of the jaw that I had was the Festivasukas, but now this thing is the best with the articulation in the jaw, because this here is literally perfect. I made it open smoothly. Then this is the mouth. So it's not, I actually looked at, that type of model that I based this thing off. I actually used the one image from the front, which shows most of its teeth, to do the teeth, because if you look at the image, and you'll see the resemblance, because this is the first row, this is the second row, and then there's 2 teeth here at the front, what I counted as in the image. But I couldn't add it at the bottom, because then it would then close this amount. But I just added like paint on there to represent it, and then there's a forked tongue. Very nice. Eon Dudes has one, but it looks a bit more prominent and not as realistic, but I still like that thing. Then I have nice paint on there with the eye. The eye literally looks exactly the same as Eon Dudes, just that it's probably on a small scale, and also, I don't know, with like color shift green, I just used regular line green, but it looks exactly the same. Although, because it's on a more realistic titanoboa, it makes it look more horrifying when the mouth is open, like this here. Would you much rather get killed by this thing or Eon Dudes? Yeah, I know which one I would take. But this thing here is nice that I have. Here was meant to be articulation, but when I attached, I didn't think to add hot glue to the base, and then it broke. Then I kind of fixed it, but then a few minutes later it broke again, and I needed to sacrifice this joint. So there was meant to be a joint here, but I needed to remove that sadly. So it articulates from here, but this is how it articulates from each side. Then this one here, which I actually added like the weird thing that goes over here, unlike here. Yeah, and then it goes to that much. Then the same here with this one. It goes that far right is titanoboa right, and this far left. So and then this one here is probably the best at going to right, but not as good to going to the left. This one here is quite good to going to the right. It's not really the best at many of them. And then the tail joint, which I need to flip this in here. Look, bends that much. That's how much the tail bends in just this direction. It doesn't bend that much. So yeah, this is how much it would bend in a position here to like the right here. And then whoop, and then this is how much it would bend in a position to the left, right here. That's how much it would bend then in that direction. Right? But yeah, this is probably my most favorite figure. This color scheme of his still reminds me a lot of like a jaguar kind of. But yeah, and this is what a human looks like. So what? That's not what some figure is doing. Come on, man, stop. Damn it. Hold up 1 second. Okay, I got it to stand. Come on, stop. No. I got it to stand, kind of. But, yeah, that's the length of it there again. So, yeah, I'll compare it to, like, Eon dudes. Like, if I just extend like this. Like there. Like, his is oversized by, like, a lot. And it's not really the most accurate because it needs to be much smaller. It's not as big as his is, and his is also has like had bumps, which mine doesn't have. I bet more on like real snakes. So yeah, that's why. So that's about. I'm gonna show the size up right now of them next to each other, but yeah, that's what the sizes would be like next to each other. So yeah, it's quite big. Mine's is big, but his dude's is much bigger in scale, even though that's inaccurate for scaling. Okay, so now that we have that out of the way, now for some comparisons. So for a first comparison, I will bring in some of my work in progress ones. So first off is gonna be my first script that I'm gonna make, which is the Ningen, which I do, by the way. I am still barely to even rest of the body because I need to redo the jaw because it isn't really good because it needs to open much wider, and also it overlaps like that, and it should not be like that. It should be like at least like that shorter. So yeah, I need to fix it, but this is the size of it next to my titanoboa. This is how long it be. There it is for you. That's the length of the Ningen. No idea. Okay, can't really what to stand, but yeah. Then there's my Ardionyx. Oh, Ardonyx actually. This is it. Still don't have any progress because I have a lot of my old philosophy because I have these arms just stick out like a sore thumb. So I'll just redo the arms as well as the tail. The tail's like thin and then thick and then looks lumpy and not really correct length. And the jaw I will definitely I know now that I can add articulation to there, so I will add articulation to there. So yeah, I will redo those parts of them. But yeah, that's the length of it for you right there of the Ardonyx, which I am making. So yeah. Then we have my third Androsarchus that I made, which by the way, so one of the best articulated draws that I've made. Just need to point that out. Like, it's not as good as my titanoboas, obviously, but like, it's still very good. Yeah, this is the length again. I need to hopefully get it, apparently. Yeah, that's how long. It's like barely the second joint of articulation on the titanoboa. So yeah. And then I'll add in my Lissowicia, which I need to put in. There's my gigantic Lissowicia, the aka Cookie Boy. Yeah, this is him. Yeah, that's how long it is next to my titanoboa. You can already guess what the length is of it already. Yeah, I still love this guy a lot. Yeah, he is dwarfed in length. Because, like, this thing can somewhat coil around something like this. Although not completely, but that's the best coiling type thing that you'll get from my titanoboa. Like, the best you'll get of it. So, yeah. Then, I'll bring in my... Let me show my frame. Then I'll bring in my dire wolf, my second figure that I made with this method. I will do a improved version of this guy because he's not really realistic. So yeah, but that's the length. It reaches to about almost the third, like halfway to the third joint. Yeah, I mean second joint. Look, so yeah. Then I will show my previous longest figure, the Fasolasuchus. It's the largest Raijasukian, and it previously had the best articulated jaw with this. It previously did, but I couldn't look at as well as my titanoboa, which also has much smoother jaw articulation. But yeah, so for when it's in full length, like that's how long it is. You can see there it's actually almost the same length as the titanoboa, but not exactly, because yeah, it's like a bit shorter, like there. You see, it's a bit shorter, like it reaches to halfway about the fifth joint of the body articulations. So yeah. And then I'll bring in my Chronosaurus from Tel. Okay, I need to move my titanoboa real quick. Okay, there. Okay, there. Damn it. Yeah. Okay, there. There's the length for you. It reaches to just about the, to the fourth joint of the body articulation. There it is in full length. And yeah, by the way, I do still love this figure a lot. This is one of my most favorite Mattel figures. This can open like this. I love it. I love it. This is also how tall it is in height, if you were to put it about that much. But it's about, like, just about the same height as my titanoboa, if you were wondering. Yeah, I just needed to point that out, just for anybody who's wondering how high my titanoboa is. And then here's a comparison for every Schleich-tuber that's watching this video. Schleich-wolf, aka it's my version of Winter Vampire that would mean like Battlefield 2, which by the way I need the lines for it, but yeah. That is the length of Winter Legends next to my absolutely colossal titanoboa. Cause if this thing learns to survive, it'd be a menace. And like look, it can bite a wolf like this, like look, completely. And hang on to it, and then you can thrash it around and then eat it alive if you want to do cool. Yeah, it can also coil like maybe around it if you were to attempt that. I don't think you could do that, but yeah, it can eat a wolf like that. So yeah, that's insane though. But yeah, that's the length. It barely reaches to the first joint of the main body. My like body. Yeah. But the head is also very much smaller. Then I'll bring in my Hammond Collection Allosaurus, which by the way, if I will, I just need to get this guy to stand just a bit later. Yeah. So yeah, there is also a problem here, which is common. The gap in the shoulder. I have the problem. Like, it's not as extreme as some other people's, but yeah. Here's the other side, just to show you guys. It's a bit more extreme, but it's not as extreme as some other people's Allosaurus that they've gotten. Like, it's much more extreme than others. Yeah, so if you have the Animal Collection Allosaurus, then it's just about the same length as my titanoboa. It's like a little bit like a little bit longer, depending on which position, but in this position it's like about the same length as my titanoboa. So if you want to know how big my titanoboa is, then you'll get a good idea with the Ham Collection Allosaurus. So for my final thoughts and opinions on this titanoboa figure, I think it's very good for me. Like, I think it's very good in my opinion, to be honest. Like, if you can finish it, exactly what it is. Like, it's quite accurate figure inside. I think it's quite far, my best figure so far. And yeah, the next one, by the way, is Paraceratherium, aka Indricotherium, which is his other name. And the other one is sort of a B, that I don't know how to pronounce. Yeah. I'm going to make Paraceratherium next. I just can't do it now because I ran out of foil when I was busy making this guy, and I literally have to use scraps to make the rest of the joints in the back. So I have no foil to make it the Paraceratherium right now. But I will make it. It's going to be in my next hard glue figure. So yeah. So yeah, I hope that you guys like this showcase of my beautiful titanoboa, and please comment your opinions down below if YouTube won't, for some stupid reason, turn off comments, because they did that for my older videos. But I hope that you love this figure and like my showcase of it. So yeah, I will see you guys in my next video.